Alright, class. I'd like to go over my teaching philosophy statement. This is what I have down here. I have it all in a Google Doc. And I wanted to go through each paragraph and kind of summarize what each paragraph is going over. So here I'm talking about how each student lives in their own little world and has their own issues and their own things that they're dealing with day after day. But yet they come to school and they're all part of the same world. So kind of just highlighting the diversity that we have within schools and in classrooms. This is me kind of bringing up an issue when a student's mind is preoccupied elsewhere. They're almost incapable of learning or following orders. This basically means it's going to be hard for some students to focus in the classroom when they have things that are going on at home, or they basically have other issues throughout their life that maybe they're not able to cope with healthily. And then I was bringing up a point that I've never actually had a conversation with someone. I was actually thinking about it as I was creating this, but no one I've ever met has ever talked about being in a situation where or basically talked about students giving up in school or basically throwing in the towel because they just don't see any value in it. I brought this up because I was in a situation like this, and I actually disconnected from school for a couple years. And I mean, thank goodness I found my way back, but I wanted to bring that up because it's part of my purpose. My main reasoning for being a teacher is to help out students like this. Students who are kind of drifting away from education or think that it doesn't have anything to offer them. And then here I've stated how I found success. I pushed myself beyond my limits. I've achieved more than what I thought was possible in my life. Several times. I gave an example of how I've achieved the highest level of education in the last 2 generations of my family. And I'm really satisfied with myself. I can honestly say that. With the education and the work that I've put into school and working and just learning more and more throughout the days. And this is what I want my students to be able to achieve one day. I put that I'll lead by example in the classroom and teach my students what it means to work, teach them a good work ethic, be someone they can look to, and they can kind of take notes off of and be able to see how I work and push through things and figure things out, problem solve, things of that nature. I also put in here that I'll push students towards mastery, always keep learning more, that there's never an end. Once you complete something, then there's something else you can start working on or working towards. And lastly, I put that I'll grow as a teacher just through continuing to grow my knowledge, more or less, throughout the world. Articles, and continue reading books and controversial issues, and keep growing my brain and expanding it and being open-minded and things of that nature. I'll also learn from my students and gain experience from their feedback and just teaching in general. And that's pretty much the outline for my teaching philosophy statement.